This is Willy Self here tonight, going to be tying my UV Cray. And we're going to be using the Dairiki 285 size 8, which is a natural curve hook that I like. It's heavy shanked. We're going to go ahead and get the thread started on here. I want to bring it back to the back of the bend, which is right at the barb, back into the barb. We're going to start in with tying some antennae on this with some black flexi floss, which is just basically rubber. As much action as you can add to these crayfish, the better off you are, along with a silhouette. Go ahead and shorten those up about the length of the shank on those. And then we're going to use a new material out there, which is called silly skin, basically is what it is. It's a silicone-based sheet. And we're going to go ahead and tie that in there. And first of all, I want to bring out another piece here. I tied it up a little fast. We have, it's very flexible and thick. We'll actually take those pieces and trim that at an angle to where you can tie it in very easily, like that. Okay, and that's the piece that we have in here. Next, we're going to go ahead and tie in some UV light olive dubbing right here in the front. I just like a little tuft of it. Just wind some on there. I just like to get some started on there and go ahead and wrap it up. And right in there, I just like a little bit of a ball in there to kind of give me an idea of how that's going to start to look. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of 25 thousandths lead towards the back to give it a little bit of weight and a little bit of bulk. And go ahead and wind that in. I don't like to wrap it all the way down. I like to have it down a little bit, you know, give myself a little bit of room away from the eye. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in some more dubbing, and after we wrap down the lead here, wrap that down good and tight. And some more dubbing. I like to dub this on rather loose because the more it gets chewed up and more used, the more action it actually gives this fly. And what I'm doing is I'm creating the head at this time. We're just kind of creating a bulky little head, so I'll wrap back over the top of, and then like that, and it's almost like a ball through there. Go ahead and throw in a half hitch. And prior to getting started, I cut up a little set of pinchers out of that same material that we're going to be using for the back. And it's really nice and easy because I can fold them like this and bring it right in on top of the bug. Set it in there like so. Come in, wrap it up. Wrap it back a little bit to get it all good and tight in. And then clip all the excess off. It also adds the bulk in there that I like to have on the crayfish. Okay, next we're going to tie in a olive grizzly hen's feather. And I'll just tie that in at the butt and wrap it in tip first. What's nice about this pattern is you can strip it or dead drift it, either one. It's got a lot of action on the fly itself. Go ahead and just wrap that around, just palmer it around like so. Come in, tie that off. Meanwhile, what I'm doing is I'm adding bulk into that part of the thorax of the crayfish. And it starts to build a taper up towards the eye. And as you can see, those hackles come forward like that. The hackle fibers come out towards the front. Next, I'm going to add in a little bit of the Flexi Floss again, but only this time I'm using a barred Flexi Floss, like so. And I simply just tie that right in here, like this. Then bring it across, like so. And then I lay it up towards the front there. So I want it out about the same length as the pinchers. And I just simply cut those off. That way it's at the right length. The next item we're going to throw in here, the next material that we're going to throw in, is actually what's called Magic Stretch, or Stretch Magic. It is a clear, flexible cord. It's really nice. It doesn't dry rot. It's really a great ribbing material if you want to keep something clear. And I bring this in back there about 1/8 of an inch behind the eye. Just kind of tie it in a little bit and then start angling it up. The whole time I'm trying to angle, that keeps that body tapered. And I just let that hang. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and create a dubbing loop. And we're going to apply some more of the UV dubbing in there. And I don't mind if it's built up a little bit. A little bit of bulk is okay, because it actually adds to it and allows it to swim a little better. The thing looks really real on the bottom of the water, when you lay it in on the bottom. It looks like a giant mess right now, but when it comes together, it looks pretty good. Go ahead and spin that up. You can see how that dubbing has really got a lot of fingerlings hanging off of it, little extra pieces and stuff like that. Then you can lose your dubbing loop like that and it'll make a mess. You go like this and just kind of spin it up and you can see how nice and fluffy that gets. Should have called it the fluffy Cray. And then just start to wrap this forward. Kind of building that up and then just wrap it right back towards the eye. Go ahead and tie that off. You could actually fish it just like this if you wanted to. I've done that. But I like to finish it out. It's actually more appealing to me. And I think the fish kind of like it too. Now we're going to take the body material that we have, we've already installed on there. We're going to bring it right back to the eye like so. And we're going to tie that off. And then trim it to the length that you want for the tail. Flip that back up and tie underneath so you can get a 1/2 inch underneath there and lay it down like so. Now we're going to take the Stretch Magic and bring right over the top. I like to wrap it twice in the same exact spot and then start with an open palmer towards the back, or towards the eye, I should say. I'll make 2 wraps at the back and then underneath, right next to the eye, to where it's tied all underneath. We finish that off. Now, this is kind of a trick that we're going to do. I'm going to turn the vise a little bit towards me. And I'm going to add my little 2 cents worth in here, which I give 2 notches in the back of the tail. The last process that I do with this is I take a brush and I brush all that stuff down, all the UV down underneath. Makes it nice, looks really buggy. And there's your UV Cray. That's the end of the fly.